It's about a little game called Disney Speedstorm.
Yeah, you guys know. You guys know. We got the queen of the kart racers here, right? We honestly, we're the king and the queen of those like games that are like, for some reason, people just aren't talking about them, like Wild Hearts, like Speedstorm. Like, people love them, but they're just not given that respect.
They're not given that respect.
They're B to the A, right? Mario Kart's the A, and B is the Speedstorm, right? You got
Monster Hunters
the A,
and
Wild
then,
Heart's the B,
yeah.
right? And we love the B's.
We love the B's.
We love the number 2s. And so, what?
Nothing.
So, we want to talk about Disney Speedstorm.
Yes. So, let me just tell you. First thing that we need to cover. And everyone that has been talking about this game, this is the first thing they talk about.
Yeah.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack!
Oh my, I don't go clubbing, but oh man, you would catch me throwing it back in every single club that played any Disney like dubstep.
Guys, this is literally every every track that you wanted has been remixed to its ultimate form. You can work out to this music. You can dance to this music. I got a surround sound system. The bass was thumping. It honestly felt like a club.
You're in the Pirates of the Caribbean, right? It's like, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho.
And then you go to the castle, guys.
Oh man.
I love Beauty and the Beast. That's one of my favorite Disney animated films is Beauty and the Beast. And you have Gaston's theme.
Oh my god.
You got Gaston's theme. Oh. Let's do we put the music in. Oh. Yeah. It's so great. It's so great. I love it.
Good. It's all so good. And it's just, it's like what you didn't know you needed from like those childhood songs that you come to love, and then they turn it into a crazy dubstep remix, DJ Wicca Wicca freaking awesome music to go along with the amazing kart racing game that you're playing, where you are playing all your favorite Disney characters racing, and it's not janky.
No, it's not janky. It controls super well. It's tight. I will say there's a degree of like, okay, and it's probably a good thing. In Mario Kart, you can get far ahead and you're like, yeah, you can get Mario Kart and you can get blue shelled and red shelled and all different stuff. But for the most part, if you're that good, you can just be so far ahead of everyone and you're like, aha, F you guys, like I'm out of here. In Speedstorm, you can never get so far ahead that you're free. You're scot-free. You are always worried that someone will overtake you at any moment.
There is no blue shell equivalent in Mario Speedstorm. And I just said Mario Speedstorm.
In Mario Speedstorm, Return of Mickey Mouse.
That would just be Kingdom Hearts kart racing.
Oh my god. Kingdom Hearts kart race.
But anyways.
Yeah.
So I would just say that this game is actually very comparable to Mario Kart in the way that it handles, which is why I will compare it to Mario Kart and not any other kart racer that I've played. It's not like Forza, it's not with those are kart racers, but it's not like Forza, it's not like Gran Turismo. It is very much like Mario Kart, and it handles very much like Mario Kart. Obviously, the controls are a little bit different, but the drifting and the boost that you get from drifting, and you know, you get power-ups and stuff, but those mechanic works a bit differently than it is in Mario Kart.
In Mario Kart, right? When you hit an item thing or an item box where
everyone
you get
gets the same item.
Yeah, you get the same item. In this game, it's almost like there's classes, right? You have the brawler, you have the defender, the trickster, and the speedster, and they all obviously each character is different, but each archetype is trying to do a different thing, right?
Yes.
The defender, they want to defend themselves. They just want to be able to do let them cook. They just want to cook.
They just want to cook.
And then the brawler, let him brawl. He just wants to mess people up.
You're fighting, you're swinging.
Right, and then you have
the trickster.
The trickster.
Who is like, they do the things that make your driving janky and just hard. Like there's a reverse, there's a like mirror or like reverse like mechanic or item that the trickster can get. and when you run into it, and when an opponent runs into it, it like flips their entire screen, and now you're on reverse controls, and everything is flipped. And it's like mirror mode in Mario Kart for about 5 seconds, and it really throws you off.
I didn't think it was that bad, and then like when you're on a turn and then it happens, and the animation also takes a second for it to rotate the
It rotates
the
your entire screen, yeah.
It's very like disorienting.
Yes.
And so tricksters do that, and speedsters, I want to go fast. I want to go fast.
Everything fast.
Sanic, you know.
Yeah. And I either play Megara which I love that Hercules and Megara are like pivotal to the beginning of this game because it puts some more respect on Hercules' name. Yeah. You know? And Belle is a speedster, and I pretty much main Belle right now. Yeah. I love Belle. And so anyway, so each character has their own mechanics and their own things that they do. When you run into an item box, you can only get the kind of items that your character can get. Yes. And each character is different, and I think later down the line you can actually switch out some of those items that you pick up.
Potentially.
And each item also, they work a little bit different than they do in Mario Kart. So there is the classic, like, you know, shoot it forward, shoot it backward, but instead of shooting it forward or shooting it backward, shooting it forward, you know, will do one thing, but sometimes shooting it backward or like pressing back and the item will do something completely different. Like, it's the same item, but it'll be so my best example of this is, I don't know what the item's called, but it just looks like a flame. Like, it's just like a flame that shows up when you get the item. Yeah. And with this flame, you can either just click the item button, or in this case we play on PlayStation, so it's triangle. Yeah. And it like sends an aura of fire around you, and you go specifically a little faster.
To the left and the right of you, it goes like up really far.
Yeah, and so it goes like, to the kind of left and the right of you. You got this aura of fire, and then, you know, if you hit someone, it like messes them up or whatever. Yeah. And you go a little faster. If you click back and click triangle, it actually leaves, like, it's like your tires leave a trail of fire behind them. So, like, when I'm always in first place, I will always click back and click triangle because there's no point for me to use the forward version because there's no one in front of me.
Yes.
And so then it leaves like the trail of fire behind you, and if someone runs into that trail, it messes them up. Yeah. And then there is the charge state, which is, I think that's really cool.
It's awesome.
It's a really cool mechanic, and all items have a charged version, and it just means you hold triangle instead of clicking it, and so you're like charging it, and then the charged mode is basically like, to me, it's most optimal mode. Usually. And so with that flame one, it sends out just a big like circular explosion, like all like 360 around your person.
And the thing is, I love that you used the flame one as an example, but most of them, I would say the charged one is usually the best one. Not always, but it usually is. But the flame one specifically is the one that has more contextual uses.
It is situational,
where it's like, usually the one where you just tap it and it shoots flames off the sides, usually the weakest one, but it can be really good when people are like close to you trying to like bully you. And then when you're ahead and people are starting to catch up, shooting the flames behind you, especially in narrow like where people can't have a lot of options, like that can put a lot of pressure on people. And then when you're like showing up and everyone's around you and you just blast 3 people with the charge version, there's a lot of variety in what you can do there. And you know, that's this game's strength, is it has that, and each character has a super, right? And the supers aren't like, you want to think of it as a slightly more powerful item because it's not like game-breaking, game-changing.
Because you can get them multiple times.
Yeah, in a row. You can get literally twice in a row get their super. It's not like you don't charge their super.
It's not like the Lucky 8 or whatever it's called in Mario Kart. Yeah. Where it's like the Lucky 7 or the Lucky 8. I think we've had both. And in Mario Kart 7, it was like 7, the Lucky 7, and then it was 8 and the Lucky 8. And then you get like every single item in the in the item that's available in an item box. And in this game, it's not like that. It's not like, oh my god, like I got a stroke of luck to get my super. No, I've gotten a super 5 times a game, but it's just an item that's very specific to that character. Like most of the speedsters have the same boost things that you get from an item box. but like, you know, Mike and Belle are both speedsters, and Mike Wazowski's super is very different than Belle's super. Like Belle's super, she has her magic mirror or whatever, and she's like, show me something that can help, and then her super is like the equivalent of the ghost mechanic in Mario Kart, where she like looks for someone else's item and steals it. Yeah. And so that's her super. Yeah. And then Mickey's super is basically just like a
boost.
Kind of like star power.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like because he goes faster, it's a boost, but it also makes him, I think, invulnerable or something like that. Okay. And then, but the catch with Mickey's is that it makes you go fast, it makes you a little invincible.
But if you drive along the same line as him,
he leaves like a musical trail behind him, which I think is super cool. And if you drive on his trail, then you get to go fast, and you're invincible too. And again, there are charged and not charged versions of the supers as well. And so I think that this is the game, that this is the one kart racing game that I've played that I feel like it truly is just skill.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me to say because for you understand kart racing games a lot more than I do. So if you feel that way, I'll just agree with you. I haven't played enough of it, but sometimes it feels like I'm like, how the hell do I get out of this like 5th place or whatever? Like
it's hard.
Sometimes you can feel like stuck. Or sometimes like you feel like you're doing so good in first and still get like you're in first for like 2 laps, and then the second half of the last lap you just get robbed. It can feel like but that can happen in any kart racer.
That can happen in any kart racing game with items, you know.
And you know, the last thing also I want to relate to the people is that the last basic mechanic that you need to know is that you can drift and get the boost like Mario Kart, but there is like an actual boost button, right? So you actually boost, and you actually want to time that with there's like boost lines on the ground that you want to hit. So when you're boosting, when you hit those boost lines, they make you go even faster, and they recharge your
boost meter.
Yes.
And so that's really cool. Like you can keep your boost meter. Like
if you learn the track, you
have to keep your boost meter. Once it gets full, you click in PlayStation's, it's X. You click X, and then it starts your boost. And then if you keep getting those things that like recharge your boost, and your boost meter is still going, like it'll start like kind of refilling it, and you can make that boost last longer. And I think that that's super awesome. We're running out of time, so I gotta kind of wrap this up. But I would like to say the tracks are awesome. Like there's so much visually going on in Speedstorm that I feel like is actually kind of lacking in Mario Kart, and I didn't think that about Mario Kart originally until I played this game, and I was like, whoa, there's a lot going on in this game.
In Speedstorm, you're going so fast, and there's so much, it's like, it can almost be an assault on your senses, but it's so like, it's so fun, and you're so in it, while Mario Kart, it kind of allows you to be like, oh, you're just looking around enjoying the track, which I think is cool in its own way, but this, it's like, there's like you're going between 2 pirate ships, and the cannons are like firing, and go yo, and there's like all these effects, and it looks crazy, along with the fact that each course
has different tracks.
It's like Forza. It's like more of an actual normal racing game where it isn't just one track is one track. You have one track that can be 8 different tracks.
Yeah, so like in Beauty and the Beast Castle, I think there's like 5 or 6 different tracks that go through the castle, and adding on to the Pirates of the Caribbean with the cannons and stuff going everywhere. I love the Beauty and the Beast one because when you go through like the dining room table or the dining room of Beast Castle, there's like the Be Our Guest, like the plates are going everywhere, and the dishes are like flying around and stuff, and you can like, it looks like that, like a little bit like clips from the scene of all the dishware dancing and like stuff while you're driving, and they're like going over your head and stuff, and it looks so cool. And
it's great, and I think, you know, obviously we're trying to wrap this up, so I do want to say the one negative of this game, if you're going to pick this game up, is first, huge positive, $30.
Yes.
$30. That's why I think you definitely should buy this game. If you like kart racers, you should buy it. But the one negative is the fact that it is a monetized game. It is $30, and so they do try to monetize as much as they can. So there's like a battle pass. There's like the store with these 10 trillion different types of coin. There's like, oh, these are multiplayer coins, and here's our Monster University coins, and then here is single player coins, and it is so confusing on what does what. And
leveling up your carts gets really
super confusing. Menus on menus, like. But here's the thing: if you don't want to mess with that stuff, you don't have to. Go in the free play, have fun. And here's the thing: you can play multiplayer and play like the pay to win, fucking like crazy.
So there's ranked, and that's the pay to win one. And then there is,
it's called regulated multiplayer.
Regulated, yes.
And so in regulated multiplayer, everyone's at a fair, even level. And so if you don't want to mess with that stuff, with the grindy stuff or with the pay to win stuff, you don't have to. You play regulated multiplayer and have fun. You play by yourself, have fun. Everything's unlocked. But if you want to play that more like, we're gonna do all these stats and make this like this super crazy optimized like
I want to get platinum in Disney Speedstorm, you know,
then you can do that. And so it doesn't feel, it's like a even though usually that would be like a huge like negative towards a game, since there's so many ways to work around it or not interact with it, it's only a minor gripe.
Yes,
it's literally a minor gripe.
Like if you're like me and you are kind of sweaty about like kart racers for no reason, then the optimization is great, because once you get your head around it, I still don't have my head wrapped around it though, because I've never played a kart racer where there's this much optimization.
Yes.
You know, you get to change your kart, you can change your character stats, you can change, your characters has a team, and you can change all your like team stats. It's so much. But I also am like, I'm gonna become the best Disney Speedstorm player in the world.
So, being our consummate kart racer here, right?
Yes.
What would you rate Speedstorm on a scale of whatever you want? If you want to be 10 or 5 or 100 or whatever you want to do it.
I'm on the Disney Speedstorm high right now.
Okay.
And so
you know what? You'll say your review. We'll revisit it when we play Lego
2K Drive.
2K Drive.
Because here's the thing. I think I need more like stuff. But I love that I feel like it's definitely like a skill-based kart racing game. You can't get Mario Karted in this game, because you can definitely get Mario Karted in Mario Kart.
It just happened to me yesterday or the day before. It was crazy.
So I honestly, I love Mario Kart, and it will forever be my favorite, be the number one.
Yeah.
But I gotta rate this one higher.
Oh, shoot.
I'm also irritated that they haven't come out with a new Mario Kart in years now.
I think there's a lot of stuff to unpack with Mario Kart that we can do another time.
Yes, another time. But I'm, and you can, have whatever hot take you want to have, but as someone who plays the crap out of Mario Kart and has been playing the crap out of this game for the past week, I would say I'd give this like a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10. You heard it here, a Girl Boy Games 9 out of 10. Our first review is Disney Speedstorm.
As a kart racer, as a
kart racing game, yeah.
Compared to God of War, it is not like
Yes, I think this is what I want to say for people watching this, is that our reviews a lot of the time are contextual. So it's our number, honestly, it matters, but not as much as like, let's say, an IGN number, because it's not like comparing against every game ever. It's really usually comparing it within its medium. So a 9 out of 10 for kart racers. And if you want to hear more of our opinions on kart racing games, when Lego 2K Drive comes out, we will be doing a little review for that. So definitely check that out. But it is time for us to wrap this up.
Yes, I gotta go take some kids to a movie.
So if you enjoyed what you were hearing, please drop a follow on your preferred podcast platform. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe. And if you want even more content, follow our YouTube channel at Girlboy Games, our Twitter at girlboygamesyt, and our TikTok at girlboygamesyt for even more hilarious clips. This was Mel the Man-Eater, also known as Melly. Go follow her on TikTok at Mel the Man-Eater and YouTube at Mel the Man-Eater.
And this was Bearded Panda. Go follow him at Bearded Panda on YouTube and at Bearded Panda on TikTok and on Twitter and everything.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.